Good morning, everybody. This is David Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Robinson. I'm once again here to do a Q&A to bring awareness to my son's case and also to answer questions that you all may have. I set this up because, like I said before, you all have interest in the case. You're the backbone of the case uh, in terms of providing everything that's needed to continue this search. So I really thank you guys for your interest in helping spread the word and showing love to me and my family in our time. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. I'm David Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Robinson. He went missing in Buckeye, Arizona on June the 23rd, 2021. He was at his work site doing what he loved to do, is being a geologist. His job is to check the water, the sediments that's inside the wells the wells that is used to for communities, that's upcoming communities and things for people to have water supply. So his job is to check those wells to see how much water coming out of that well, volume wise, and also, like I said, the rock sediment. Of course, the wells have to produce at least 100 years of water, and so my son is there to do his job. However, on the June 23rd, my son went out to the job like he always does, meet a representative out there from a different company. Once he met there, him and the other gentleman, they was there for about 10 minutes, had a conversation. According to that gentleman, my son waved off to him, got in his vehicle and drove off further off into the desert. Went out west, went farther into that remote part of that desert, and to never be seen again. On June the 19th, July the 19th, this vehicle showed up. His vehicle showed up in a ravine, only about 3 or so miles away from the last location of my son, that well site. Outside of that vehicle, that crash vehicle, was his clothing. It was placed about 3 feet away from the vehicle. It was in the pile, placed in the pile there, 3 feet away. About another foot away to the north was his safety vest, and also to the south was one of the boots. But another few feet away, and then the other boot was tucked up under the front end of the vehicle that you see, the part that's under the ground. Also, since that time, I have started my searches. I've been here since June the 26th, searching for my son. Started my searches. The searches were started on prompted because I needed to get to the well site where my son was last seen. Was needed to be there to question the man that last saw my son, and like I said, start my investigation. Put myself in my son's shoes. One of the things I did when I got to that well site for the first time was to stand out there and to corroborate this man's story. See what he was staring off to when he said he was staring off in the desert, to see what I can see if I was Daniel, what I would be staring off to, what I would be looking at, what a geologist would be looking at that point. I didn't find anything. I saw a lot of, um, uh, greenery. We want to say vegetation. It was impossible to look out into the desert area from where I was standing for every vantage point around that well site. So I really had a hard time to figure out what my son was looking at. The second thing is to find out where my son was located. At that time, my search was based on recovery. I didn't know what happened to my son at the time. All I know, we needed to find him. He's out there in the desert, lost with his vehicle, and we need to locate his vehicle and locate him. Like I said, the vehicle later showed up right here in that ravine, just the way you see it behind me, by a rancher who was out there looking, chasing down his cattle to get them down in the corral that's south of this location. He went through that area 2 to 3 days prior. The vehicle wasn't there. He didn't see his cattle, so he came back out again. Like I said, on the 19th, that's when he noticed my son's vehicle. He turned it in, called it into the Buckeye Police Department, and here we go with our story. My search then, from that time when the vehicle was recovered, expanded to cover this area where the vehicle was located. Also, I had to go with a theory that was given to me by the Buckeye Police Department, and that theory was unacceptable to me. It didn't make sense, and so it prompted me to get my own private investigator. A private investigator found a lot of evidence out there on the ground. For instance, things with the vehicle, the red print transfer paint that was found on the vehicle on the underside of the vehicle. There's nothing red out in the desert, so that indicate that vehicle was crashed somewhere else. Second of all, the damage on the vehicle didn't match the terrain, and also the sunroof. There was some glass on the ground. That glass came from either the driver's window, or it was placed there. And we're still trying to determine that. That's one part of my personal investigation, because it didn't come from the sunroof, as the Buckeye Police Department told me and suggested, because that vehicle do not have a sunroof glass, that model. They just have a sunroof panel, and that panel was kicked out or pulled out, and it was placed under the front end of that vehicle. And according to the Buckeye Police Department, their theory is that my son wrecked his vehicle down that ravine. He escaped injury, but he had a severe head injury, and he somehow managed to escape. He kicked out the sunroof. He got out because of the head injury. He shredded his clothes, and shredded his clothes because people with head injuries, severe head injuries, they tend to think they're hot, is what the theory they gave me. And they take off their clothes. So their theory is he took off his clothes, he went off somewhere and hid under a tree to cool off, and probably succumbed to his injuries. And then I later heard that one of the detectives felt that my son decided to leave his family to join a monastery and become a monk. Now, I can't tell you, I'm a veteran. I've been to Afghanistan. I later found out I had a brain injury. I have never yet shed my clothes. I don't know the difference. I don't know the theories about shedding clothes with a brain injury, but nevertheless, I never did that. Now, I can tell you, because of these theories, that was unacceptable to me. Like I said, I got my investigator, who in turn found the vehicles. Not only did he use the data that the Buckeye Police Department pulled from the black box, but they either didn't know how to read their own data, or they're just too lazy to do so. It's not. I don't know what it was. That's my opinion. But my investigator at the time, he cleared that up. He read the data to them, what they pulled, and the data was showing that the vehicle was driven 11 additional miles after the first initial crash, after the airbags were deployed. Also, that vehicle was, like I said, going a certain amount of miles per hour. I can't remember exactly now, but when he did his measurements on the hill up there to see how the vehicle come down that ravine, there was enough distance, space for that vehicle to make it that speed that was on that black box data. Now, I can't tell you from personal experience. Out there in the desert, I use a vehicle called a Razor. A Razor is made for that type of terrain. I literally myself tried with a lighter weight of vehicle and with a vehicle that's made with the tires and everything to make that terrain and get right over those ravines at ease. I couldn't even get up to the speed that this vehicle showed it was going when it hit the initial first crash. So we tried those. We tried it a couple of times. We tried it. We tested it ourselves. But the Buckeye Police Department decided to refuse all our findings. In fact, once we turned those findings over, they shut down on me and my investigator at the time. And then they doubled down on their theory to keep it in tight. They hired themselves a private investigator, another accident reconstructionist. My investigator was an accident reconstructionist, and they decided to hire one to say exactly what they wanted to say. This investigator they hired have never physically seen my son's vehicle, never physically touched it, never physically touched the clothing, never even examined the vehicle, but yet he made a full report about a vehicle he never seen. He went to a dealership, asked some workers about the ins and out of a vehicle. Instead of you doing really due diligence, you would go to the manufacturers and ask that type of question, because if the computer didn't match that mileage on the vehicle or what's on the dash, that is called a recall. And I'm still waiting on the makers to point that out to the public, that it's impossible for those two not to match those two data. That's just something they put in their report to bolster their own story, their theory. They want to stick by it. I don't know why. My opinion is maybe arrogance or whatever it may be, but the facts is facts. So we have a lot of facts, and at this point, I'm still here in Arizona trying to get those answers. So I have a lot more details about it. I came here today again. My name is David Ross. For those who coming in, I'm the father of Geologist Daniel Robinson. I'm doing a Q&A for everybody who have questions and want to ask those questions, get those questions answered. I can ask you to please, I see some people now already done that. Thank you. When you do ask your questions or have questions, please put the word question there first and then ask your question. The reason why, because it helps me when I go down the timeline here, I can actually see your questions. So, and I won't miss some things like that. So they help me out to see it, and I really appreciate it. Also, I'm going through these anonymous tip line. I have an anonymous tip line behind me on the bottom of the screen. If you all have a tip or know anything or heard anything, please use that tip line. That tip line is not made to send me your opinions about things, what you think I should do in terms of my search or my investigation. It is for you guys if you have any information that would lead to my son being found and to bring him back home. So please do that. I will not be talking to you and have a conversation through the tip line. The tip line is open 24 hours, 7 days a week by live operators. They will take your call if you don't want to speak to a live operator, but you can remain anonymous. But if you don't want to talk to anyone, you can text the word tip to this number, and the same thing will happen. You get the form, you can fill that out, and once you fill that out, you can stay anonymous. You can be non-anonymous. Either way you want to go, I will get those details now. If you have real things to talk about when it comes to terms of you have an idea, what happened to my son, or you have a clue. Yes, you can also have direct messages to me through that tip line. You can, like I say, remain anonymous. I would not be able to get that information who you are, but we can have that conversation. Or you could let me know who you are. We can have that direct conversation. If you do have any suggestions to what I should be doing or who to contact and things like that, use this number here on the bottom, the 803-200-7994. That's one of my public cell phones. And you guys, you can leave things from how you think I'm doing to hello, Mr. Robinson, how you doing? Or you praying for me? Things like that. I need the prayers. So I love seeing those things. And you can use that line for things like that. If you want to leave a tip on there, you can leave a tip too directly to me. So I really thank you for that. And like I said before, everything you need to know about this case can be found on pleasehelpfinddan.com. Things from signing a petition to donating to volunteer search. And if you guys have want to help and you want to physically be here, but you can't because you live in a different city, different country, you can also use the tab to find other ways to search or other ways to help. And there's a tab there on the website now. And what I'm doing is looking for people with certain skill sets or see what your skill sets are and how you can properly help from where you're at, your location from where you're at. So if you was to go down there and fill out that form, that helps a whole lot. And if, like I said, we can find ways that you can help other than being here. So take advantage of that. I really appreciate it. Also, I need to let you guys know that I'm having a candlelit visual on the 12th. And I think you guys probably heard about it, but I'm letting you know it's on the 12th here next week. And I ask you guys to come out, please show support. It's about numbers. You guys come out and make a big presence. That will send out a message. It'll send out a big message. We're talking about this case here. This is going on 9 months pretty soon that my son has been missing. It's 8 months now. And, it's 8 months too long. I'm putting in all the effort I can, as doing what I can do as a father, just try to make sure I find my son, search for my son, continue to search. I know a lot of times these departments take a long time to find people's loved ones. I can't tell you it's a process, but at least I am on the process. I don't have too much work or too much help from the department, so I have to do it on my own. So thank you. If you guys can, like I said, join this candlelit visual, it will help you guys out. Also, when you go, or if you want to come out, please sign RSVP because that way I know how many people are showing up. We have the candles, the ribbons and things like that to accommodate. So, and also I want to mention that on that RSVP, on the bottom it says about the 3 people. Please, you can bring out as many people as you want to. If you have to enter your information, just go ahead and do that because that's a glitch. I'm trying to get that removed You can bring as many as people, the more people, the merrier, the better. So thank you so much for everything. Thank you for support. Thank you for being here for me, and thank you for your help. Now, I want to go down this the stream, and I want to tell everybody, like you knew, thank you so much. You knew, I really appreciate you being here. Thank you for your help in the chat room there in the chat. I really appreciate it because you're helping there, getting those messages out. People don't know how much work you do in the background. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Queen, for being here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming out this morning again. Thank you also, Tanya Beth. Thank you so much. Thank you, Donald Duck. I've seen you here before, and I really appreciate you coming out again. Thank you, Faith. I really appreciate you coming out also this morning. And I really appreciate you. Thank you, Leslie Beats, for being here. God bless you. Thanks so much. The lost ones, thank you for coming out again. I really appreciate that. You be out here, Skilo. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody who's coming in. Everybody's coming into this Q&A. I really appreciate you being here. I think I put you up already, Gloria, but thank you again. Thank you for coming out to support my Q&A. Thank you again, Amber. Thank you very much for being here. We say working all day, but just wanted to say hi. I'm sharing Daniel's case with everyone. Hope you all have a great day. Thank you so much, Amber, for sharing. That's what it's all about. You guys get the word out. Just like I said, you can hit that like button, share, and subscribe on this YouTube channel. That also help get that word out and get the algorithm going, and I can get out farther to many more people. Thank you, Michelle, for being here. Good morning to you. I really appreciate you being here. Moochie Bear, thank you so much for being here. If I say your name incorrectly, I apologize for that, but good morning to you also. And I tried to get a little bit of sleep. I didn't get much this last night. I had a lot of things to take care of. I did a little small short video last night before I went to sleep, and I had to take care of the little things. But I got a few hours. I think about 2 or 3. So I'm gonna do a little bit more, do a little bit better than that. It's getting down to it. I do have people in the background who would get on me about my sleep. So thank you, Chloe, for being here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Leslie B, again, I will get to your question in a minute. Michelle, thank you so much for being here. I see your questions coming in. I really appreciate it. I will get to that real quick. So fresh smells. Okay, Sophie. Oh, I know who you are now. Good morning. Good morning so much. I really appreciate you and everything you're doing in the background. You've really been very helpful already, and I'm really grateful for all your efforts and all the wonderful things you're doing in the community, and in your talent that you have. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here this morning. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Now, again, my name is David Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Robinson. For those who just got into the chat or got into the Q&A, I'm here to do this Q&A for those who have questions and to try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. So you will have all the right information instead of those that's out there misinformation, especially some of the things I've seen in a report from the department. So you guys have questions, I'll try to answer them the best I can. Those I don't have the answer to, I will tell you. Things that is part of the investigation, I will tell you. But definitely will give you the answers that you need, that I do know. And so really thank you so much for being here. All right, thank you, lost ones. I really appreciate it. Good morning to you, sir. Red, I appreciate it, and I will try to get in contact with you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yes, sir, and I definitely will do that. We definitely have, and I'm glad you out there working hard. And I will definitely get with you once I get off this Q&A, so we can get together and talk about those things. I really appreciate it, all the hard work you're doing out there in the field. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you for the prayers, Gloria. I really appreciate that. Appreciate everything that you're doing in terms of prayers and your support. God bless you. Also, I have the questions. I'm going to some of those questions early. I wish you, like I said, if you guys have any questions, please put the word question there first and then ask your question. That way, when I go down the chat, I can actually see your question, and I'll try not to miss anybody's question. If I do, feel free to repost your question and try to help me get to it. So I definitely get to it. Try to get to it as best as I can, and we'll get through this Q&A. From Donald Duck, is there a way I can contact you? I would like to cover Daniel's case on my channel. I would love to do an interview with you. If you are okay with that, I will respect Daniel. Yes, of course, you can. You can. Again, if you want to contact me, please use the number that's on the bottom of the screen there, and I will do my best to respond quickly. But yeah, that's the better way for right now, publicly, to get in contact with me. So please, by all means, I would love to do an interview with you. And so thank you so much, Donald Duck. I would appreciate it, and we'll talk about that some more. I would appreciate it. Anybody have questions? Please put the word question there first, and then here's your question. I have another question here from Leslie Beats. Thank you so much again for being here this morning. The question you have is: have you been able to give the FBI a rundown on your personal investigation and why you had to do your own investigation after Buckeye Department failed to do so? I have not been able to talk to the Department of the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation. I haven't have done it yet. I'm putting things together like a packet in the sense. I'm going to the Attorney General's office also, and I'm doing other avenues to try to bring in the FBI into this case. As you know, this vehicle right here, if you look right there, if you take a couple of feet to the west, you will find that you're on BLM lands, that's Bureau of Land Management, and that is federal land. Who's to say? I'm not a surveyor to say that the vehicle itself is not on that land. It may as well be. So it's very close. That's how close it is. And I think that's close enough that the FBI should be in my son's case. They should be looking into where this vehicle is located on their land. And they need to find out what happened to my son if they're saying that he was in this vehicle on their land. So they need to be looking to make sure my son was in that vehicle on their land. So that's part of some angles that's there to get the FBI involved, which they should. Not only because of that, because they need to. I have a department who either unwilling or just don't know how, or just lazy, or just too arrogant, in my opinion, to bring in outside resources or something they can't do. This is a department that closes on the weekend. They're not open on Saturday and Sundays. I don't know if crime stopped in Buckeye on Saturdays and Sundays, but this department closes down on Saturdays and Sundays, the building itself. Now, the officers may be out on the street, but the officers on Yuma Road there is closed on the weekend. So you guys, that I don't know, but I just know they need to bring in outside resources. They will put that. You can say anything you want to in a report. Actions speak louder than words. I have yet to this day been contacted by anyone outside of Buckeye, Arizona Police Department. I haven't gotten contacted by anyone. I haven't gotten contacted with the mayor, to whoever, city managers, whoever. Nobody. They know I'm out there on their properties, out there in their jurisdiction, doing searching for over 26 weeks, probably 27. I can't get the count now, but it was over 20 some weeks, 26, 27 weeks, and they have yet to even give me a call and give their, let them know they support me in any kind of way, that they're sorry that my son is missing in their jurisdiction or anything. So that's the type of people I have to deal with right now. And that's what, so bringing in the FBI and all these resources, they haven't done that, and they need to. So they haven't contacted me. Nobody contacted me. I did request the FBI to come in, and that's what you have to do to get the FBI in. You have to have that department request them to do so, to come into their jurisdiction. And I requested that in a letter, sent it out to Chief Hall. It was a good letter pointing out everything, the factual things that's happening out there. My son went missing on the crime scene. He couldn't deny that. Under suspicious circumstances, he couldn't deny that because he said it himself on CNN interview that my son went missing under suspicious circumstances. That came out his mouth. And so I used those and remind him what he said. And versus also that my son went missing out there where we found human remains, we found a human skull, and my son is missing. So all that together suggests that there should be an investigation of the whole area, including with my son, find other people, family members. So he read that letter with the city manager, all the people that didn't contact me to this date. I CC'd them in that email. And, of course, with all that pressure with the people behind him, the city manager, he said, yes, and he's going to bring the FBI in for a case review. They said it was going to be. He told me it's going to be within a few days or so. And my attorney, she quickly wrote a letter to ask for us to be present in this case review. He did not get back. She also said in the letter that if they just don't want an attorney. Sometimes they don't want an attorney involved. But I'm a family member. That I need to be part of that. I need to know what's going on. Though she put in the letter pretty much, and it went unanswered. That department decided to do it behind my back. Didn't let me be a part of it. And as we waiting on that answer, and they came back the next week and said that the FBI would not be coming into my son's case. Now, and the reasoning is because they said that the FBI told them that I'm doing such a great job as a father that they don't need to come in. And that sounds ridiculous to me. I don't want to believe that's what something the FBI would say. But, nevertheless, that's where we stand. I have still yet to get the FBI into this case, and I'm still going to be there to push it. So thanks so much, Leslie. Next question from Skilo. Did Daniel have an iPhone or Android? I have had questions. Phone data last week to verify no warrant was issued to access the phone, and you believe some pertinent data was removed, correct? Yes. Well, to tell you like this, yes, there was no warrants done on that, to get any information from that phone. In fact, I haven't yet to know if Buckeye ever was able to get any kind of paper trail from that phone. They put in their report all day and all night, all they want to. I can tell you the only data that I'm aware of that they got from that phone, because they don't have a warrant, and these companies would not give them paper trail, is that they literally allowed me and my daughter, and I keep demonstrating this, sitting on the other side of the table while we're strolling down this very phone right here, matter of fact, strolling down the phone, and they sitting on the other side of the table and looking at what's on the call log. I mean, on the his phone record through the phone. Look at it. We saw some little phone calls, and then they wrote in the report, we obtained phone records from the family, or we obtained this. If that's obtaining phone records, then I don't know what that's impossible. It's kind of funny to me. You can do something without paper trail, and that's how they handle things and how they do things. So I was told by them, and my family was told, we're told that they couldn't get those data because they don't have a warrant. A judge wouldn't give them a warrant, because if they try to get a warrant, the judge would deny it, because they don't consider my son a criminal case. And they keep saying it all over again. It's not a criminal case. They don't see that suspicious what happened. They look at this and they say that's normal to them. And the reason why I know that they feel it's normal to them, because on the 19th, the vehicle was found. On 20th, the next very day, they gave the vehicle to me. Not only just gave it to me, they threatened me that if I didn't get it out to the compound, it's going to have it towed away, and I was going to have to pay towing fees. I had to force them to keep it for a couple of days to do forensic work on that vehicle, and which I requested that. What you all see in the report, they're not listening to that like it exactly happened, but they're saying, "Oh, we did fingerprint on." No, I requested that fingerprint, and they did the fingerprint under my request and my demand. So that's part of what should have been written in that police report. But like I said, they're gonna cover themselves in any fashion, any way they can, for not taking my son's case seriously, not seeing it the way the family we saw it, but seeing it as the way, and take the stories of coworkers and say, "Oh, he's acting odd, and he did this to himself, and he just decided to leave on his own," that type deal, instead of talking to the family. Now, as in for the data being removed, yes, I was given that phone, and it's missing his memory card that I bought for him not too long before he went missing, and also was stripped of the Google data. It was stripped of information about the young lady, different things like that, all the suspicious nature, and they decide to give that phone to me, and just leave it at that. You don't hear anything else about that in their report. They didn't even so much as interview the second lady, who was part of the other lady, who was at two women that was at this apartment that my son, the place that my son met these two women. And so, so it's a lot of things there that is convenient for that department to characterize their report. And they want to keep it that same theory, and they're going to do everything they can, in my opinion, to bolster their theory. All right. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Skilo, for that. I see your question again. Your comment. I will be at the vigil. Thanks so much. I look forward. I hope I get to shake your hand. I can't wait to shake. Oh, well, there you go. I'll shake your hand. Thank you for signing in. I really appreciate that. I would be happy to help if needed for setup, social media, anything at all. Thank you. Let me plug my computer up, you all. Give me a sec. I apologize. I'm about to lose power here. I hate to see you guys go. So thank you. I have a bad habit of that sometimes. Not putting up the plugging the computer back up. So I'm glad I caught it this time. You would have saw me disappear in a moment. But thank you so much, Kilo, for your participation into the kind of like visual that we're going to have. And I really appreciate you deciding to come out and be a part. So thanks so much. God bless you for doing so. Also, my name is Dave Robinson. For those who are just coming in, coming into the Q&A, I'm here to do the Q&A for those who have questions and want to have those questions answered. You guys are part of the this whole thing as a support. My family and I have been searching for my son since he went missing, and I would not be able to go this far without your support. You've been here. So like I said, this Q&A is for you, for your questions, so you can get firsthand information from me. I will answer the questions to the best of my abilities. If those questions I do not know, I will tell you. If it's something that's impeding on investigation, I will tell you. But I will answer all those questions I can, and to the best, like I said, to so you guys can have direct information. Also, I'm here to give you information about upcoming events. Like I'm this weekend, please come out to the searches. We will have them all. Both of the special ops searches operations will be done at Sun Valley Parkway and Cactus Road. Without Sun Valley Parkway and Cactus Road, you will see the gate that's north of Cactus Road, gate, and you will see a sign just like this, exact sign here on the gate. That's where you go to the entrance part of the gate to be a part of the searches. So you'll see someone there to guide you in, guide you into the location. We're going to either be at the gate or we may be down near the quarry. I'm still working out the details on which one we're going to be. Some of you all who have come out there to searches before already know how we do things. We have our safety briefing at 7:45, and sometimes we get started a little late, depends on how fast we're moving. But we will have that safety briefing. You will hear me speak, and my logistic and search coordinator, Evan Short, and we'll break you off in different groups. And hopefully we have a large number. We want to get this line search where we can cover areas that wasn't covered before. And also you guys who have the UTV, ATVs, 4x4 type vehicles, horses, you name it, we have a special place for you. Go over to areas where it's very difficult for people to reach on foot. So it really is important that you guys help us out on that end. So thank you so much for your help on that. Also, I have a candlelit visual that's coming up. Also, I definitely need your support on that. And if you guys can go on the website and sign up, RSVP, because I need to know how many people showing up, and so I can get those candles and also the ribbons and stuff like that. So we're going to stand together strong. I want to stand strong. As many people as you can get to come out, encourage all the people you can. I know on the site it may say 3 people. No, bring in all the people that you can. And I really be grateful if you can do that for me, because we need those numbers to make a statement. So thank you so much for that. Also, the tip line will be down on the bottom here for you guys for those who have tips. Okay, I'll go back to the question. I'm David Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Robinson, who was missing on June the 23rd from his work site. His father had been here since June 26th last year, searching for him. And I've been here since that time because of you people, everybody that's actually supporting and helping me to be here. So I really am grateful for everything you do. I don't take you for granted, and I love you for everything that you do. If you have any questions, please, by all means, put the word question there on the comment, and then ask your question. Put a Q there or something, so when I'm going down this comment session, I can see your questions. Thank you so much. Thank you, Gwen, for being here. I really appreciate it. I thought you were on the road. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. God bless you for showing up. Also, Sunset Dragon, thank you for being here. Melissa Peck, thank you for being here. I seem like I'm about to have a little technical difficulties. My computer's starting to do a little bit of freeze up. So if that happened, please forgive me. I will try my best to get it corrected. I don't know what the internet is doing right now, but I seem to be having some technical difficulties. So bear in there with me. Also, I have a question from Lois, Louise or Lois. If I say your name incorrect, sorry about that. You know, it's early in the morning. I kind of mess up here, but thank you for your question. The prayers for your family. Question is praying for your family and your family daily. Did you ever get Daniel memory card back? Thanks. No, I have not. No, I have not. Last I know, Detective Biffin told me on a recorded phone call that he took he said he didn't take anything out the phone. He said he took that phone from the scene. He had it in his back pocket, and he put it in his back pocket, and nobody had access to that phone. So when they gave it to me, it should have had everything in it. I'm assuming that's what he's saying. And so first of all, I didn't like him saying he put the phone in the back pocket when he should have put it in the evidence bag immediately. But at the same time, no, I do not have that memory card. I don't know what happened to it, and I'm still asking questions about that. So thank you so much for that question, and thank you for being here and support. Again, I'm David Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Robinson, who went missing on June 23rd from his job site. And I'm here to do a Q&A for everybody who have questions. If you have questions, please by all means, put a Q or the word question there before you ask your question. That way, when I go down the comment section, I can actually see it. Try to get all the questions I can, and so I can give you the answers. You can visit pleasehelpfinddaniel.com for more information about the candlelight visual. I ask you guys to RSVP when you get there, and that's the way I can know how many people showing up. And please, by all means, do so. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Q, for being here. I really appreciate you coming out to show support. I'm trying to get you. I'm having a little technical difficulties here. You bouncing in and bouncing out. Let's see if I can get you up on the screen. I'm really grateful for you being here. I'm not sure if it's showing up yet. Not, but on my end, my screen is completely shut down. It's standing still, so I don't know what's happening on the end. I hope everybody can see me, and I hope that this feed is continuing. I say, good morning, Mr. Robinson. Question: how soon will you be getting Daniel's phone to forensics, and when will you be getting that tire cut off the well site found near the corral? Well, I'm getting that cell phone off really soon. Should be hopefully coming a week. I have some information. Thank you for the information to a forensics lab that specializes in things with cell phone and electronics. So that'll be sent off hopefully in the coming week here, and start getting that phone data done first. So I'm gonna do things one thing at a time, and work my way that way. As in for that tire over the well, I'm definitely having that removed, but not cut off. I have a different way of doing it. My search coordinator, we talked about that yesterday. He has a Tacoma, and we're gonna put a chain around that big boy and drag it off of there. So we're gonna be able to get into that well. So I have some people coming who will be helping me look down in these wells, and so we'll be working that stuff out in this coming week also. Out of Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, one of those days, and working out a schedule with them now. So thank you, Mr. Q, for all the work that you do in the background. People may not be aware of, and then you're here helping me in all kinds of ways, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. God bless you. Also, Rachel have a question. Thank you, Rachel, for being here from Facebook, and thank you for showing up in this Q&A. They say, where can we find a copy of the missing persons poster? I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina, and would like to get some printed and get more eyes on the case. Okay, if you call, you can get in contact with me. Like I said, if anybody want to contact me directly, you can hit the number. I'm trying to get the screen up here on the bottom of your screen. This is a number that can get me as a public number. You can get me directly in your text message. We can discuss that, how I can get those flyers to you. If you're speaking of the flyers, that's similar to what we have here. Yes, I can get those to you in North Carolina. In fact, I have some to mail out today to a lady in Colorado who will be doing the same thing. So you guys can hit me there, give me your address. I can send those flyers out to you in bulk, and you can spread it. Because like I said, I'm trying to reach this whole country if I can. You know, my goal was to reach every city here in Arizona, but at the same time, you know, you guys can get it out a lot farther than that. Then yes, I'm definitely for all of that, and I'm really grateful for you doing that. Also, thank you so much, Rachel. That's a candlelight visual. I wanted to let you guys know, for those who just joined in on the 12th, ask you to please be a part. Go to the website, pleasehelpfinddaniel.com, and RSVP. Bring as many people as you can. Ignore the little bottom about 3 people, 3 more people, whatever the case may be. I had to get that removed, but just bring all the people you can. I need everybody. I need a bit showing. I need the support. You all have been supporting me from day one. I'm really grateful for you. That's the reason I have a Q&A to answer your questions, because without you, I wouldn't have the search. I wouldn't be here this long, and I wouldn't have the support. So thank you so much for that. Just like I said, go to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com, and you can get the information about the kind of like visual that's coming up. Okay, now, again, if you have a question, please put the word Q, the letter Q, or put the word question before your question. That way, when I'm going down the comment section, I can actually see your question. So thanks so much. All right, I have another question from Leslie Beats. Thank you again for being here this morning from Facebook. Was anything out of place in Dane's apartment? Anything missing? As far as I can tell, I don't know anything missing. One thing is a disadvantage to my son's apartment is that he lived alone. And so to really be sure of anything missing, it's kind of hard for us because I don't know, as in for things being out of place. That's another thing. You know, I don't really know. I haven't been in my son's apartment ever until he went missing. My goal was to visit my son. He just moved from Phoenix to Tempe. And in that time, I have never been in his apartment when he's living in Tempe. And like I said, we had plans. And that's another thing. We had plans to come out to Arizona. His sister was coming from California. We were always going to be here in Phoenix, to his sister's house in Phoenix. And my son wanted to show me this vehicle that you guys see back here on that thing back there, damaged like this. He wanted to show me that vehicle for the first time in July. It's ironic that I saw this vehicle right here for the first time in July in that condition that it's in. And so it wasn't the condition that my son wanted me to see it in, but I definitely had plans to be here for that. So yes. Okay, I see. So, but thank you so much for that question. No, I don't know if anything was out of place, and also don't know if anything was missing. So I'm still gonna look into that. His sister may know a little bit more about that, being that she visit her brother all the time. They go hiking together. Matter of fact, I think the weekend he went missing is one of the weekends they plan to go hiking. So you know, she may know a little bit more about it. Something that she may notice. They help clean up. We help move his apartment. That's the hardest thing. I'll tell you guys, moving things out of his apartment and not knowing what he want to throw away or what he want to keep. That is the hardest thing. It was hard for us mentally, and it was hard for us. You know, just it's harder for us all around. You know, packing all these things up. So, like I said, I don't really know what was missing at the time. So, thank you so much for that question. I have one for Skilo. Thank you, Skilo, for being here off of YouTube. So, thank you for showing up on the Q&A. How did police unlock the phone? Do you give them password permission to access the Google data? If you check the Google account now, is the location data missing and what date range? Well, I can tell you this. Some of the date range, I'm not going to give that out, but I can tell you that, yes, they had permission at the time. My daughter, and like I said, we have a close-knit family. So my children, they had each other's passwords. So that made it easier for the detectives to be able to get into the phone. My daughter provided that for them. So they did have a sense of permission to go into the phone, you know, by us giving them that password, you know, giving the password. Now it's in the Google data. I tell you before, his Google data on that phone was all stripped. I was since then, now in my own personal investigation, I was able to get in contact with Google, who helped me get that data put back on the phone. So now I have some answers that I really need from the Google history and things like that in terms of where my son was located at the time he was going missing and some days before. So thanks so much for your question, Skilo. All right, I have a question also from you, Newt. Will you be streaming live at the Candlelit Visual? I am working on that. I have my search coordinator, Evan Short. I talked to him about that yesterday. He said he would try to help me with that endeavor. Of course, it'd be hard for me to do it. I know some news outlets would be there. I tried this before with a family news conference that I had, both news conferences I had first. The second one, I didn't get much of news coverage other than Dateline, who was out there, just happened to be out there with me that week, doing some shooting and doing a ride along with me out there in the desert. But other than that, the first search I did have some news crews out there. I mean, first family press conference, I had some news crews out there, and it's hard to get them to give you the raw footage. Saying I asked for it, they didn't give it to me. They like to take that whole length of footage and do little clips here and there. Whatever they want to take off of that whole length of the entire, for instance, press conference that I had. So definitely, I'm trying to work on that and make a live stream. I'm asking Gisela from Grizzly True Crime. She offered to do a live stream and trying to see, any kind of way. So yes, I'm really planning to do that, you guys. So look forward to that. I may be live streaming from this channel. So just look for that kind of thing right there in the future. Thank you, New, for that question. Also, if you have a question, please put the word question there first, and then ask your question to help me when I go down the timeline to find your questions, and so that way I won't miss them. So thanks so much for doing that for me. All right, I have another question here from Melissa Pack. Thank you for checking in through YouTube. Is there a name you can say for the two females that had contact with Daniel? Is there a name you can say? Well, I only know of one. I think we all know of one. Her name is Caitlin. She's the only one the Buckeye Police Department decided to interview, according to their report. She's the only one they're allowed to give her hearsay testimony about what was said and what was found on her phone. That's all hearsay. This came from her. She is. They allowed her to upload her own testimony, her own text messages, the way she wanted to send it up into a police report, and they put it verbatim the way she sent it up there. So that's lazy work. That's not detective work. You know what I'm saying? And they haven't even looked at my son's phone and things like that. So I mean, sure they weren't gonna find anything because it was all deleted. So I hear this department claiming that that they got something out of the trash, and I can tell you, I went through that phone, and that phone says that data is deleted 30 days after it's been put there. So I can tell you that it's impossible. My son been missing almost 30 days, and they was going through that phone. I don't think they would got something out of trash. There wouldn't be nothing there at the point when they started going through that phone, because they at that time did not say anything about going to the phone. Only time they would say they was going through that phone and got it trash is when the public eye, because I can get the original report versus the report. That's why I don't read the new report. They just add things as it goes. They add things as people ask questions about to cover themselves. So if you notice, I can put those. I'm planning to do it. I still got the timeline where it's hard, but to put those things, compare them against each other, you'll see what I'm talking about. Things that's being added to cover themselves and say, hey, we did this and this is what we found. It's always going to keep drawing to the thing. We want to say that my son did this to himself, and he crashed his head. All is going to be lined up to the same thing. They're really pushing hard for that reason. But no, I do not know those the other female name, but it was two. My son did tell me before he went missing about the two young ladies, and somehow the one it was the only one else questioned. She's the only one that made it into the report, but there were two there that night. My son told me himself personally, and I have yet to this date to know who the second female is, who she is, or where she's from, what's her name, anything about her age, or whatever the case may be. And that first report, the second report they gave, the partial report they gave me first, and the full report at the time when they told me they had no more leads to follow. I do have a Facebook, their Facebook, nothing to get deleted. They deleted it once the media saw what they said, that they had no more leads to follow. They deleted that off their Facebook account, but nothing's really deleted. So I was able to get that from the media, where they said it. That's it, during the time they told me, when they gave me everything of my son, they had no more leads to follow. It was over, and they booked. They wanted me to go home, in my opinion, and just leave my son behind. It's over. We ain't got no leads to follow. We don't know what happened to your son. He just went off and joined the monastery, become a monk, and that's it. We ain't got nothing else we can do until that public pressure came. Like I said, from you guys, thank you so much. I've said thanks so much for making the phone calls to the department, demanding things, and you got them guys running like a chicken out of the head, and they're sitting there making all these mistakes, these contradictory remarks in the report. All that stuff is coming to coming together, and they'll be exposed for all the stuff they write in their report. They can't take it back once you write it in there. You can't take it back, but they were changing some words. I can tell you the sentences we're going through. I was going through Miss Q on her channel, and Carlock, and going on her channel, and we was going through that police report, and I was matching up to the original report they gave me, the unredacted report at that, and they actually changed some words in the sentence to fit their narrative. I mean, so you're going back changing documents and changing wordings and things like that. Something nefarious about that. So, in my opinion, so I had to ask a question about it. No, to answer your question again, I do not know anything about the second female. So, thanks so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, Batia, for coming in. For your, I don't know if it's a question, but I happen to see it. I know you have a thoughtful mind. So his apartment is potentially a crime scene. I wish that it could have been analyzed as such before everything was removed. Yes, well, according to Buckeye, they did not get a warrant to be able to uh, go in there and look. They won't get over. They won't do it. I tried to talk with Tempe. Tempe, of course, had to put it over to the Buckeye Police Department because it was only known at the time that my son was last seen at that well site. So, by law, in the jurisdiction is in charge of a case when wherever the person was last seen. So the Buckeye Police Department had failed at the beginning to do that, and I agree with you. That's one of the biggest things. Now, when my investigator came along, yes, he went in there with everything he told me. He went in there. I gave him a whole day. I gave him the key. He went in there and took care of a lot of stuff. I'm still waiting on a report about that. I'm working with my attorney to get a lot of things right now. And I don't have a full report of all his moves and things he found and what he looked at and things like that. So I'm still working on that part. And I can't tell you he was paid. I want everybody to know in the public eye that Mr. McGrath was paid. I paid him. And I need those the full reports. Other than the pictures he furnished to me and the little report from the vehicle, I need a little more detail. So I'm looking for that and find out what was found in that apartment when he went through with his evidence bags and search some things. So I'm looking for that too. So thank you for your comment, Batia, and thank you for being here this morning. Also, again, my name is Dave Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Robinson, and I'm here doing a Q&A for you all. And if please, if you have questions, put the word question there first or letter Q, and I can find your question. Try to make sure I'm not skipping over anybody. But thank you, Rachel, for your question. Do the females have any connection to law enforcement that you know of? I'm looking to every angle. I'm looking to everybody. And I'll tell you like this, I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but it's my job. I'll fail as a father if I didn't suspect everybody. I don't care if you're law enforcement to the mailman walking down the street. If I don't suspect everybody, then I feel that my job as a father. That means I'm not keeping my eyes open. I'm not keeping my brain open. That means I'm being biased one way or the other. And people say that, hey, you biased because that's your son. Of course, I need to be. He's my son. Of course, I'm going to always think the best of my child. However, at the same time, I'm a human being with a strong mind, and I use common sense, and I can step away from my feelings and my emotions about things. Hey, I'm a soldier. I'm a professional soldier at that. That's what we're required to do when you go into war situation. You have to put your feelings aside. We lose battle buddies out there. We cannot sit there and worry about that when things happen out there on the battlefield. We have to keep moving. We have to keep that mission going. You got to keep your mind sharp. So we're trained to do that, and that's what I am. My son is my mission. I'm trained, like I said, professional soldier, and I put my feelings aside and I look at the facts. That's the reason why it may appear that I'm bashing the police. I'm not bashing the police. I'm just pointing out their inconsistencies, and I'm pointing out things that don't make sense. And I'm pointing out the fact that they're not doing anything from day one, and they're covering it. They're trying to cover themselves up because of that. And that's my job as a father, to make sure my son get due process, that my son get the justice that he need and respect, and do not mess with his integrity. My son is a brilliant man. He's a brilliant young man with dreams and aspirations, high dreams and aspirations. He's a contributor to society. My son has so far as even getting a traffic ticket. So my son is a model citizen. He goes to work responsibly. Despite of him being born with one hand, my son can do anything he wants to. So he's very, like I said, very intelligent, very bright, and he's loved by many. My son has a lot of friends. He's very inspirational. He comes in the gap when things go wrong in the family. So that is my son, and I would not let a department, because they want things to go their way, to villainize my son in their report, to make him seem like he's some type of stalker or some unstable guy, that type deal. No, I would not let that happen. I'm not gonna let somebody who make an opinion about my son in 10 minutes of knowing him make it into a police report, but yet my whole testimony about my own son did not. But they lied on my words, and I'm asking them to retract that. I'm still asking the department to retract those lies they said about me. That I said my son was in love with a woman that he didn't know. I did not ever say that to that department, and so they need to take that out their report. So that's another thing that upset me when I look at the report, for things that was definitely something I did not say. I see some comments going on in chat that I really want to get into. If you guys have a question, please put the word question there first, and I will get to your question. And then, but if it's not a Q or a question word there, then I kind of might end up skipping over it. I'm not sure if it's a question or not. So please put the word question or put the letter Q, so I can know it's in the form of a question, and I will get those questions. That's what this Q&A is about, to answer your questions. So thank you so much. I have one here from Lakeisha. Thank you, Lakeisha. You're one of the troopers here. I really appreciate what you do on the weekends for me, and I'm really grateful for you being a part of the team and part of the family. Your question is, will you be doing forensics on the tire after it was removed? Also, what video can I watch to see the tire? I do have a video out there. I think I did it through a live stream through Grizzly True Crimes. I did, and so it's a little bit of footage of that tire on that channel. I think she may have it somewhere in her playlist. I'm not sure, but I do have a copy of that, so I can furnish that to you later, Keisha. I can give that to you, but if I find it. So I have your information, so I can't get that to you. But anyway, yes, as in for the forensics on that tire, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I can or not, or will. But I know will be removed soon. Like I said, we talked about it yesterday. Me and my search coordinator. He has a Tacoma, and we was going to pull it off of there. So long story with that. So we can take a look down in that well. We have I have some folks coming in this week to do well inspections. These well owners is allowing it because that's a free inspection for them to see the integrity of their wells, and so it's a win-win situation for them. They don't have to pay for it, so it's a job that's going to be done to let them know how great their well is free. So they have to pay a lot of money for that, and I was able to have someone to come in and do some work for me, and at the same time help these well owners get their wells inspected. So that's one incentive that really helped me get that done. So thank you so much for that question. I'm looking down the timeline for more questions. Again, my name is David Robinson. I'm the father of Geologist Daniel Robinson. For those who just coming in, I have this Q&A to answer questions, and also to give information of things I'm doing, current events and things like that. Like I said, I have this candidate visual that's coming up, and I ask you guys if you can to be a part of. Show your support. Come out there and in numbers, in great numbers. I need big numbers. I need to make a statement to the Buckeye Police Department and to the world. Often cases like my son go unheard, and we need to make a loud noise so he can be heard, and also to point out the disparities, and also that there's a lot of people out there missing. And there's loved ones like Daniel, like I said before, a volunteer came to me and say, you know what, Mr. Robinson, he's your son, but he's an American son also. And he is, because Daniel represents a lot of people in America, a lot of sons and daughters out there, and family members that's out there missing, and the way that the police departments approach missing people. And that's a problem. And one of my advocacy would be to have those laws changed in every state, where the way they approach missing person cases. There should never be a thing say, hey, a family should wait 24 to 48 hours to report their person missing. I get that. They should shorten that time because the first 24 to 48 hours is crucial. They should shorten that time to a lot less than that, less than this whole 12 to 24 hours, and some of them 48 hours, whatever the case may be. That's too late. You see what's happening in my son's case. They should approach it where the family know that something is wrong with their loved one, something's out of character, unusual. They should first assume that something happened to this person and go out there and do their job. Take their hands off from under out their pockets. They need to stop drinking that coffee, donuts, whatever the case may be, and get out there and look for this person. And then they find them. They should look for them like something happened. So that way they can go find these people, ask them questions. They may very well may want to be away from their family and join a monastery, become a monk or something. Then they need to ask that person that and what they're doing, and contact them, find out what they're doing, make sure they're okay. And this person say, hey, I'm doing this because I want to be away from my family. I want to talk to them no more. I just want to live my life. Whatever case they say, they should be able to ask that person that, come back to the family, report back to the family and say, hey, we contacted your loved one and they are fine, but they decided to stay anonymous. And we can't tell you where they're at, but we just let you know that they're okay. And that will help a family out a whole lot. So they should approach every case that way. That way, if they can't find that person, they're actually looking for that person early. They look for clues. They look for everything that is to find that person. Because like I said, if they wait too late, next thing you know, it'll be 8 months before that person, or even longer. You have some people for 8 years and some even longer before they find their loved ones, or never, ever to this date have found their loved ones. So that's very crucial for that to happen. That's one of the things I'll be fighting for, because this thing's bigger than me and my family, and there's other families out there. So thank you for your questions. All right, let's see if I have more questions. I have one here from 12-Step Woman. Thank you, first of all, for being here, coming through YouTube, and answering your question. Does anybody have Daniel's key? Well, that's part of the evidence that was given back to me. I'm sure if that key still is in my son's, some things I have never taken out these evidence bag that was given to me later. My investigator, he was able to, my former investigator was able to transfer those things over to me, and the way he gave it to me, I just leave it just like that. I don't go in it, so it's in a secured location. And I'm sure those keys are there. I don't touch a lot of things. I want to make it clear. It's one thing I didn't point out to you all about a lot of this evidence that need to be forensically searched and done. That vehicle was turned over to me, like I said, the day after it was found by the Buckeye Police Department. They gave it over to me. I had forced them to hold it for a few more days to do fingerprinting on it. Right now, since that time, that vehicle, I was seeing that vehicle to this day. I've seen that vehicle twice. When Detective Biffin showed it to me, and also my investigator at the time, my former investigator, showed it to me. Those are the only 2 times I've ever seen it to this date. And I do that on purpose. I do that because I am the father of the missing. And I don't need to be nowhere near that vehicle. I never physically touched that vehicle because, of course, of chain of custody and things like that. Make sure I don't break that. Because, my investigator come in now, when he get in town, he'll be going through that vehicle. So we can get this forensic stuff done. So I make sure I don't go there by myself to the facility, look at this vehicle or anything. And we have moving records for this facility, and it will show that I have never been there. And we have cameras. So the thing is, I had to keep the integrity of that and keep the integrity of those forensic items and things like that. So they will be tested. Like I said, Mr. Q asked the question. I'm going to start because of lack of funding And you guys have been so gracious. You really try to help and get me to get the funding up, and I'm really grateful for all the donations that you have given so far towards getting this forensics work done. And I am going to take one item at a time. And it was suggested by a couple of people. Bati is one of them, to do one at a time. So yes, I'm planning to do those things one at a time. Mr. Q was one of those people who suggested that also. So thank you for your suggestions, and that's exactly how we'll be approaching getting all this forensic work done on these items, from the most important down to, well, all of it is important, but the most critical down to the less critical items. So that's the way I'll be doing it. But then again, thank you so much, everybody, for coming into the Q&A. I have let's see, do I have one question here? I thought I just saw one. If you have a question, please put the Q there so I can see your question, and they help me out when I'm going down the comment section to see your question, and I can get to it without missing it. So thank you so much for being here on the Q&A. I will start again with showing you these banners on the bottom here, and on the bottom here, you see the banner with the tip line. Please, if you have a tip, please use this banner for that tip. Now, I can tell you I have been having an influx of people using the anonymous tip line, and they text the word tip, I'm sure, to that number. One thing I can tell you is anonymous tip or non-anonymous. You can be either or. It's 24 hours, 7 days a week, live operators that will answer your call. However, you can, like I say, stay anonymous if you like. But if you don't want to talk to anybody, you can just text the word tip to that number, and the form will come where you can still stay anonymous if you like. And you can get all the information. You also can talk to me through that tip line about what you found that would bring my son home. The tip that would bring my son home. That's what I'm saying. The point I'm making, that tip line is for that. It's not for you guys to go in there and have a conversation with me about what you think I should do, or what I should search, or what your opinion about something, or asking me the questions that I have here on the Q&A. So I'm letting you know, please, because that clogs up the efforts trying to go through those tips. I have to go through every last one of them, but I would not have those type of conversations through the tip line when it comes, if it's not nothing that would lead to my son coming home. So I encourage you, if you have those type of questions or comments, to use the number that's on the bottom here, that's coming on the bottom here, the 803-200-7994. That is a public cell phone number, my public cell phone number for you guys to contact me directly. If you just want to leave comments, hey, Mr. Robinson, I'm thinking about you, to, hey, Mr. Robinson, I think if you have a tip, you can do that too if you want to talk to me, other than going to the tip line. But it won't be anonymous talking to me through there, unless you're using some type of burner phone, which some people do for other reasons, to disguise themselves to, I have all kind of people that contact me. So the ones that really mean good and want to contact me that way, you can feel free to that. I go through a lot of questions, a lot of text messages every day, so it may be kind of slow, but I definitely get to you. And please go to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com to find ways that you can help support. You can help support, please, by signing the petition. You can sign as many times as you want to, as long as you have multiple email addresses. You can sign with each of your email address. I really encourage that too. Invite other people to sign a petition. I need those numbers, because when I turn that stuff over to the Attorney General, I need the backing of the people, and you guys are my backing. You've been here since day one. That's why I'm doing this Q&A, and I really appreciate you, and I really love you for all your efforts. Also, you can donate through pleasehelpfinddaniel.com. There's a link there for the GoFundMe, and I can tell you the GoFundMe only lists how much money was collected from day one of having the GoFundMe. I can tell you that we utilize, first of all, GoFundMe have their fees minus the utilization of what we do out there in the desert from when I first started the search, when I first started the GoFundMe. That money is constantly being used. You can imagine, from the banners to the equipment that we use out there, to everything. This whole operation, me being here in Arizona, all of that is part of the GoFundMe. So that's the reason why I ask you guys, if you can do a continuing donation, that would help out a lot. I'm also trying to build up funding to get those forensic work done. Like I said, that's why I'm doing one at a time. I would like to get all of them done at the same time, but because of the way funding is coming in, I have to consider certain things and make it easier for myself to get those things done. Also, cut down the searches because of funding, to save some money. Try to force myself not to be able to use certain equipment that we really need out there, from the razors to some other items. So try to make sure that we don't spend too much money. So try to be wise with the money that you guys are donating, the money that I'm putting in also towards this. And I really thank you guys for your help on that. Now, also on the website is the Candlelight Visual. On the events tab, you can go to the events tab on pleasehelpfinddaniel.com, and it will tell you everything that's going on right now. Like I say, we're having a Candlelight Visual that would be on the 12th, and I'm happy if you guys come along and join in, and please come out and bid numbers, and make sure when you do go on the website to get that information to RSVP, because that helped me learn how many people showing up, and have the many ribbons and candles for you. So all that information will be on the website. Also, there's a tab for those who cannot make it to searches, cannot come out to volunteer or anything. They really want to help. There's a tab there for other ways you can volunteer. And what we're doing now is collecting your skill sets. If you fill out the form and tell us your skill sets, we find things that you can help us with. As I say, us to have a team working on that in the background. So that'll help out a whole lot. Because I'm trying to get a foundation off the ground, and those type things will help in the long run. So you guys can give you the skill sets, what you're good at, how you can contribute from with your skills. That helps out tremendously. We also have some give us some things to work with. So please do that. Also, like I said, if you want to go out and volunteer on the searches, we have two specialized search. One is geared towards utilizing UTV, ATVs, and things like that. So make sure you go on the website to see that. And the other specialized searches for line searches, people who come out there without ATVs, UTVs type vehicles, and just want to help. We have, ground searches. Line searches is very important. That's how we found the human remains out there. That's how we would find Daniel if he's out there. Sad to say, and it's really hurtful for me to say it as a father, but I am not on a rescue mission out there in the desert any longer. That was the first month of me searching my son, first month or so, and that's because of the freshness of what happened before this vehicle showed up. I couldn't imagine my son walking around the desert for 8 months, surviving with no clothes on, no shoes on his feet, with no water. Saying that's very human, basically impossible. So just like I said before, I'm a dad, I'm biased, but I'm realistic. So I had to be realistic, and I have to suck it up and search for my son. I'm not gonna leave my son behind, and I'm grateful that you guys are willing to go out there in that desert with me and search for my son. So I really thank you for your help in that endeavor. So if you want to help, say you go to our website also to get that information on how to search for my son. So help on that endeavor. So thank you so much for that. God bless you. I'm going back to the comment section. If you have a question, please put the word Q there first, and then follow off with your question. That way I can find it. I do have a question here from Lois. I apologize for saying your name incorrectly, Ms. Strickland. Thank you so much for being here off the YouTube. You said, can we donate to your Cash App? Yes, you can. The Cash App is, I put that on the Twitter. So you guys, if you follow me on Twitter, the Cash App tab is there. I should have had that Cash App up here. If administrators, you there in the chat, can you put that up, and I will put you up into that Cash App. And the reason why I created a Cash App recently, because I did have people like yourself who was inquiring about some other form of sending a payment or donation, I should say, to this cause, because you don't want the fees to come out, through GoFundMe. Some people want me to make sure I get every dime of their donation. I got it, and I really appreciate that. So that's why I was able to put that that Cash App together. So thank you so much for bringing it up. And if you knew, or Gwen, if you're in the chat here, please, if you put that up, I can put that up on the screen for those who want to donate other than the GoFundMe. Because like I said, some people feel they don't want to do anything that where fees are taken out. So I understand that, and I really appreciate that. So thank you so much for that question, Lois. Thank you so much. God bless you on that. Also, again, my name is Dave Robinson, the father of geologist Daniel Robinson, who was missing on June the 23rd last year. He remains missing. I'm out here looking for my son. I've been here since June the 26th doing so. I started searching for my son a few days after he went missing. Putting the search together. My goal was to first find out where my son is, go rescue him. And the other thing is to make sure I got to this well site to do my investigation to find out what happened. I needed to stand there in my son's shoes and see what he saw that day, what made him feel like he wanted to walk off, according to this gentleman, and get in his vehicle and to drive off farther in the desert. To this day, I don't understand that reasoning, that thinking, and that talk about what my son done. Also had to take into consideration what was told to me by this gentleman at the well site. He told me a lot of things that's not in the report. I reported those things to the Buckeye Police Department. He kind of shrugged it off. He said, "Oh, that's what he said to you?" "Yes, sir. That's what he said to me with witnesses," and I did not make it into the report. So some things there that was questionable about the whole timeline with this gentleman at the well site. The things that he said he done and efforts to go look for my son is not there. He's even mentioned with, and I'm saying that's where the red transfer paint came from, but he did mention painting rocks with red paint. So to alert the police officers to where the tracks are, where the vehicle tracks led to. So there's that kind of deal going on with this gentleman. So those things did not make into the report. And, so I just have questions as a father, and I'm continuing to do my due diligence into the son's case. Like I said, I started expanded my search when his vehicle showed up to cover that area where the vehicle was found, and to keep on with my search. My investigation has grown. I had hired a private investigator as the reconstructionist, and he found a lot of evidence there, but that didn't stop me from doing my own personal searches. Like I tell you before, I'm a kind of guy that will have a private investigator and still do my search under the private investigator. So I mean, I have to find answers for myself. I don't rely on anyone 100%. I'm just not that kind of guy who will sit down when my son is missing at some kitchen table or in my living room and call some other grown man or whoever and ask them about my child, what you doing for him. I had to do it for myself. So thank you, New, for putting this up. This is the for the cash out for those who asked. Louise Strickland, Miss Strickland. If I say your name wrong, I apologize again. But that is right there. Thank you, you knew. It's with the dollar signs, capital P, please, capital H, help, capital F, fine, and capital D, Daniel. So you put it there like that. That is the cash app for you guys. For those who don't want to donate to the GoFundMe because you're concerned about fees being taken out, the fees that's been taken out from the GoFundMe. So thank you so much for that, you knew, for putting that out. I have another question here off of Facebook for Christina. Thank you again for being here, Christina. Ms. Lynn, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming out and taking your time to join me on this Q&A. This Q&A is for all of you. All of you have questions. I'll try to answer them to the best I can. So you trust the person at the site. Which site? I'm not sure. At the well site. If you said the gentleman at the well site, I'm assuming that's who you're talking about. I don't trust anybody. I don't trust anybody who had any contact with my son when he went missing. Like I said, he could be the mailman. I don't not trust any of them. I don't trust the police department, and I don't trust anybody else. But I do work with people, and I look at anybody and everything. When my son is missing, everybody's suspecting me. So I look into everything. Like I said, I don't rule anything out. I don't rule a person out, and you best believe I'm looking. I have answers, but like I said, I have a lot of answers. But a lot of things I cannot say out in public. A lot of things I have to keep to myself. But I do have answers, and I know these answers. But I need you guys to bear in there with me. This is, like I say, it is an investigation. I do an investigation inside the investigation, and I do have answers. However, you have to do things a certain way. And I thank you. Like I said, I don't trust anybody, and people should know that. So I trust you as much as you can help me make sure that my son is being found. So that's what I do to rule some people out. So thank you so much. And thank you, New, and thank you so much. I really appreciate what you're doing. And thank you again for your question, Christina. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Anyway, my name is Dave Robinson. For those who just joining in, this is Q&A. I'm about to end it pretty soon. I have like 5 more minutes. I'm asking you guys if you have a question, put the Q there or the letter or the word question there before you ask a question. That way I can find your question and answer those. If I miss a question, you can try it again. I really like to answer those questions. I'm spending time here with you because you guys are my support. I wouldn't have these searches without you. And that's the information I like to put out and also keep you informed. So thank you so much. I want to express you so you can look me in my face and I can look you in yours. And I can't actually see your face, but you can see mine. But you can know that I love you for everything you do. And thank you so much, you everybody, for your support from the time I got here on June 26th to this date. You guys have been my heroes. You know what I'm saying? I went out to reach out to the community. The community reached back. I have started my searches, and I have tons of family members. They're my extended family out there in that desert. We all are family. I love those people. Those people are dedicated out there. We was out there when the weather was 118, 120 degrees out there in that desert, dealing with possible rattlesnakes to mountain lions. We was out there. We still come out there every week searching for Daniel. And even in the cold, when it got cold, we was out here in the cold, bearing that cold early in the morning. These people by my side, they are family members, and I really love them and for being out there with me. And I love you guys for everything you do, the ones who cannot make it to these searches and help. You help in all kind of other ways. That goes to the point. If you want to help and you can't physically be here and things like that, go to the website, pleasehelpfinddaniel.com, and look for the tab and other ways you can help, other ways you can be a part, other ways you can volunteer tab, and you can fill out that form and let us know your skill sets, and we can give you ways that you can help in my endeavor. So thanks so much. Here's another question from Tisa Field. Thank you, Tisa Field. Thank you for being here this morning off YouTube. Thank you for all the hard work you have been doing in the background to help the cause, help me find my son. So I really appreciate what you do in the background. The first site Daniel was working at that morning, has it been verified he was alone working at the first site that morning? I don't hear anything about that first site. That's some of the questions that I haven't answered by his company. I have yet to have a time because I'm so busy. I did alert his company that I would be I'm requesting another board meeting with them. I had a lot of them in the past. And one of the questions I did neglect back then was to ask about this first well site. Everything's always about this second well site. But so I do have a okay, thank you, Nu. But I do have questions about that first well site. I am currently investigating things about that first well site. So I already have answers about a lot about that first well site. But I do will be having a future meeting. They already been alerted that I want a meeting with them. I talked to my son's boss. I'm still gonna say current because my son, I don't know where he's at. And as far as I'm concerned, he still work for Matrix New World, Matrix Southwest Groundwater. As far as I'm concerned, and I will be talking to them again. So they already been alerted that I will have these meetings. But that's one of the questions that I will have for them. So thank you for that question, T. Sophia. We'll have those answers soon. And also I just need to ask the Buckeye Police Department, but like I said, they shut down on me a long time ago. Once we gave them all the evidence that was found, they shut down on me. They don't even have any discussion with me other than if I reach out to them or they have something they want from me. So other than that, thank you so much for your questions. Okay, Michelle, I see that you didn't put a Q there, but I believe you have a question there. I'm going to try to see if I can get it, put that up. Let me see, where is it? I just saw that. Okay, I'm going to try it again. All right, this is from Rachel Arnold. We owe Daniel to make sure that ways are made in Arizona to changes are made so that this never happens again this way. Again, I missed that question somehow. Like I said, it's important you guys put that Q there first or the word question. That'll help me see your question because I missed it. But thank you, Rachel, for that comment. You're right. We do owe it to my son for that. We owe it to a lot of people. We owe it to families right now who have missing loved ones and who don't even have a voice. We owe it to all of them. We owe it to those people that those remains that we found out there in the desert skull. we owe to all of it, say everything. So it's not just about my son; it's about these other families too. And it's a shame, for words I really want to use. It's a shame when the department don't take things serious like they should, and that's the reason why these people come up stay missing so long. So thank you so much for that. And I think I found this, what I think is a question from Michelle Crumpley. Ms. Robinson, have you registered Daniel with NAMUS, the National Missing Person Database, or subsequent ones? Also, do you have the contacts in New York, where I live, and how can we help from over here? Now, that's the first question. Part of that question, yes, he's part of that. He's supposedly been part of that national database, also through Buckeye. They claim they've done that, so I had to look into to verify that. But yes, he's part of that NAMUS and also the national database. Yes, of course, and that is the national stuff there. He's a part of on that listing, and I think that was done because I had to push that the first um, moments that we knew my son was missing, push them to get those things uploaded to those sites and things like that. So yes, that database. Also, as in for people in New York, I have Mr. Q. I have people there, but no, I don't have anyone that actually been wanted to distribute flyers. I'm asking. I'm assuming that's what you're asking, or anything like that. I would, like I said, if anybody hit that number on the 803-200-7994 number, that's the public cell phone number, and I will put that up on the screen here. If you hit this number up, you can get in contact with me, and I can send flyers to you. Or if you want to find out other ways you can help, like I said, you go to the pleasehelpfinddaniel.com website, and on a tab that says help in other ways. That's for people like yourself who want to help, and you're in another city or you're in another country. Just go on that tab and fill out that form, and we will find ways that you can help. So thank you so much. If you can do that, Michelle, I really appreciate that. If you go to that, pleasehelpfinddaniel.com. Also, don't forget about the candlelit visual. If you're there, Michelle, or all of you, so if you can come out on the 12th and show support, I would like to have you there, welcome you there. If you can, please go on the website and go on the events tab and fill out the RSVP, and so that way I know that you're coming and how many people will be out there. So thank you so much. I really appreciate that. If you can do that for me and my family and everybody who's joining in out there on this candlelight visual. So we have a lot of people showing up. Have some speakers. I'll be a speaker. So thank you so much if you can. All right, I'm going down here again. The time do the comment section. I run out of time. I look at the clock. I have other things I have to jump into. So thank you so much. Please, if I miss your question this week, please, next time I have my Q&A, I would love to answer your questions. So please have your questions ready. Thank you so much. I hear Mr. Q. Yes, he's in New York, Michelle. That's what I'm saying. He's out there in New York, and yes, and he does a lot for the team. He's an investigative team that works out in New York. So I really grateful for everything Mr. Q is doing out there in New York and what he's doing here for me. Saying behind the scenes. So I'm grateful for that, and thank you so much. I have a question from Christina Lynn. My computer's freezing up again, so bear in there with me. Have you searched the first well site? Yes, I have searched that. I have not searched inside that well. There was some equipment there that prevented me from doing so lately. The equipment has since been removed now, and I've been alerted that, just matter of fact, it was just yesterday or the day before, I was alerted that the machinery that the builders put on that well has been removed. So I have a team of guys coming in this week, out of Sunday, between Sunday and Wednesday, to search that well. We're going down the well. Buckeye Police Department came out there under my request to search that well. They couldn't get that equipment removed, but I was able to, through another source, get that equipment removed. And they did not do that search there. And, but I'll be having that well searched. Buckeye has admitted on the live stream they have never been to that well site, like I thought, to search that well site. So they haven't. They have never been there to put anything in that well to this date. Saying they haven't had the cadaver dogs there or anything. So those are things, like I said, I'm doing a lot of work myself, stuff that the Buckeye Police Department should have done from day one when my son went missing, took this case seriously, but they haven't. They dropped the ball. My son remained missing, and I partly blame them for that. So thank you for your question. All right, I have another question here from DJ Moore. Thank you for being here through YouTube. Question is, will there be a search on the 12th as well? Yes, there will be. Of course, I'm always keeping those searches going. We have the search out there. Well, I'm put that in the air right now. I'll talk to my search coordinator, and we'll try to figure that out. But as a plan now, yes, we'll have a search on that week, even though we have candlelight visual that night. I can say the only thing that would be in the field if we have the search will be the city distribution. That would make change. I've changed the time and the location. The location will be the candlelit visual for those who want to pass out flyers. Meet me at the candlelit visual an hour before, and that's where the city distribution will be next week. That way, we can pass out flyers to everybody who come out there for the candlelight visual. So, to try to do a whole lot of things at one time. Spread the word, and also for people who are out there to support. So, yes, that's definitely would be a go. The city distribution, but I have a question about the actual search for that day, because that would probably make it easier for people to plan to come out to that visual. I'd rather for you guys to be out there visual just that day to show support, because we need to put more pressure on these departments and show a bit showing. We need, like I said, make a statement to this department and to the world that, hey, we got to stand up for my son, and we have to stand up for other missing persons of other families and things like that. So thank you for that question. All right. You can tell I'm getting a little tired here. I'm getting down to these last little few questions. I really thank you all for coming on this Q&A. I'm trying to be on here as much as possible to answer your questions. And you can continue to support me by hitting that like button, share button, and also subscribe, because that helped me get out a lot farther. Once I get to 1,000 subscribers, I will be able to have different avenues to get this word out. So thank you so much for your patience, and thank you so much for your love, and thank you for being here. First of all, you taking your morning out to be out here with me to this Q&A, and I really appreciate it. Like I said, I missed your question this morning. Please come out again to my Q&A, watch it for the updates. I'll put it out there when I'm going to do another one. And please come back with your questions, and I'd love to answer those. Make a list of questions, and we can go through them. Again, there's a tip line back there for those who have tips, may have seen something, heard something, want to stay anonymous or non-anonymous. It's there for you, 24 hours, 7 days a week, live operator. You can also text the word tip to that number. If you just want to do it alone to yourself, you can still remain anonymous if you like through that. And also you can contact me through that tip line for one purpose only. If you really have a tip that would possibly bring my son back home to his family. If you want to just have a regular conversation, show love to me, give an idea of what I probably should do and things like that, utilize the number on the bottom. That's what that number is for, 803-200-7994. That number is for that purpose, for you guys to be able to contact me. It's a cell phone, it's a public cell phone to me. I do get that. I'm the one in possession of that phone. It's my phone. And you guys, if you want to say anything, I try to do my best to get to you. It might not be quick. Sometimes it is. You still have to hit me at the right time when I'm actually on my phone looking at these messages. And other times it may take a day. Sometimes it depends. So just bear with me. I will get to your message as soon as possible. So thank you so much for that. Also, go to pleasehelpfinddaniel.com if you want to support. All the information there, from donating to sign the petition to other ways you can help to help with the searches, and also the current events like this candlelight visual that's coming up on the 12th, and I need you guys to support. So thanks so much. Thank you for coming out and showing your support to me and my Q&A. Thank you for your support for this whole cause. I've been here since June the 26th, and you guys have been champions. You've been family to me, and I love you all for being here with me. I'm going to have to go now, so I really thank you guys for being here with me. I love you. God bless.